Now the second way to map data is via online files and spreadsheets. So for example, if you've got a Google Doc or a Google form or a Dropbox file or something else, maybe by a federal or a state or a local government agency or a nonprofit organization, and they're serving data out on the internet, well, you can map that. So for example, here I've got some earthquake data over the past month served up from the USGS. So in ArcGIS Online, instead of like in step 1 saying add data from local file, here I'm saying add data from web, and I can easily map those earthquakes in the past month, and then I can symbolize them based on magnitude, or I could have symbolized it based on depth. And then I can overlay that, of course, with plate boundaries and fault lines and look at soil type and urban populations that are particularly perhaps vulnerable to earthquake shaking and so on. So this is easily done. I'm just adding file from web. The third way that I'm really excited about mapping field data in the GIS cloud is via online forms. So for example, you can create a Google form that actually updates automatically based on feeds from, let's say, a real-time stream flow, or maybe data that you put in periodically, or from some other organization. And you can point to that from your ArcGIS Online map. Since you're pointing to a data set or a data sheet that it updates frequently, or in an automated or semi-automated way, your map automatically updates when your spreadsheet updates. So that's really quite exciting. The fourth way of mapping your field data in the GIS cloud is via smartphone apps. So for example, fitness apps like this one here, I'm using Runkeeper. You've got MotionX GPS, MyTracks, and other apps on your phone that output usually in a GPX type of file. It's an XML-based file that is read by a number of different devices and services. So you can collect data, tracks or waypoints, along with media, right? Geotagged photographs, video, text, URLs, etc. And then you can easily map that and build a multimedia map based on that data. So for example, here I've mapped my track from Runkeeper. Actually, this one's from MotionX GPS, which is another app which gives you tracks and waypoints. I exported that and I uploaded it into ArcGIS Online. I also, with these small push pins here, have waypoints, and I've tagged those with photographs. So that's another exciting way of mapping, just with an ordinary smartphone. Yes, you can still use probes of various kinds, and these probes are, have been in development for 20 or 30 years, and they're quite robust and wonderful. Pasco probes, Vernier probes, etc. And it is excellent to be able to use those sensors on those probes. Now, so there's lots of ways to map from some sort of mobile device. You can use ArcPad, you can use smartphones, as I mentioned already. Now the fifth way that I'm really excited about mapping your field data in the GIS cloud is via editing of ArcGIS Online map notes. So you can add map notes and tag things, as I mentioned a preview of coming attractions earlier. Let's look at that. You can on these push pins here, you can attach photographs, and they could be real-time videos. Could be from a webcam, for example. Could be a URL. Could be something you sketch and scan in, or your students sketch and scan in, and so on. So that's quite a powerful and easy to use function inside ArcGIS Online, is with these map notes. Now, just one last thing about map notes. You can actually share map notes with other maps, which is kind of cool, because if you created a set of map notes and your colleagues can use that in their own maps, then you can go ahead and share those. Now the sixth way of mapping your field data in the GIS cloud is via uploading geospatial data to ArcGIS Online. I'm really quite excited about this, because that means that you can push up data into the GIS cloud. Yes, you can download data just like we have been for years, but you can push data out there. You can publish data into the GIS cloud. You can publish shape files. You can publish geodatabases. You can publish feature services. You can make those feature services editable, which is a preview of the seventh step here coming up in a moment. But there's a variety of ways for you to put data up there. And you can make story maps. You can put tables of data up there. So you're basically adding geospatial data into the cloud and then mapping it. And so this is a data set that I published on high and low temperature extremes across the United States. So every day there's a high temperature recorded and a lowest temperature recorded. So I made a data set of those just with an ordinary spreadsheet, and you can see the January and July 2011 highs and low extremes. So this, I think, really powerfully shows that latitude matters. So as expected, you've got a lot of low temperatures in Minnesota and Alaska and Montana, for example. And also proximity to oceans matter. So in January, a lot of the highs actually occur near water, Southern California, South Texas, South Florida, and Hawaii. And thirdly, altitude matters. So you get some lows even in July, lows for the country, all the way down into Arizona and Colorado in high mountain elevation areas. So this came over from a spreadsheet. It's something I actually had to key in, copy and pasted it from a data source, and then I also created one for the whole world.